Time for the final two matches of the evening, the final match up of the evening. SK going up against Immortals. Old friends, old buddies, brothers, if you will.
Potentially, yes. We have Train Overpass, which is two slow maps, but I feel like personally that SK have more power to their punches, I would say, across the board. I feel like they have more individual skill that's more consistent across the board. Now, it's going to be interesting to see whether it pops out in this matchup, but I think that's what they're going to need, because this is not... I would be surprised if this is a standard game of Train and Overpass, because this is another domestic matchup. So it might get a bit crazy, James. Are you ready for the craziness of the Brazilians?
Let's see what happens. Pistols being fired. People being killed. Fallen, no less, to go down first.
The father of Brazilian Counter-Strike himself has fallen. And... didn't mean to do that. I promise. That was pretty bad now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Puns happen inadvertently all the time. So, zews waiting patiently for this. He's got a great angle, actually, to pop a couple players quite quickly in the face with that USP. And he's going to fall off immediately. 1, 2, 3. And, oh, he's staying up there. Trying to get another one. Trying to get a bit greedy, but he's actually fine. Doesn't take any damage there. Looks like SK are in a lot of trouble here. 3 players left. They're all tagged up. The bomb will be planted at least, that's good. But it's going to be very hard to defend here.
FNX and for 2Fs doing what they can, which won't be enough on this occasion. Bomb being defused. Immortals off to a good start. Nice. Slow defuse. 10-second diffuses, Dan.
So that's where it all started. It was a nice attempt back from Fur and FNX to try to salvage this one. They did pick up some extra money with the additional kills. So AK's in the third row. Oh, nice. Okay. This is great to see. We will get, instead of the typical AKs in the third round and a save round now from SK, they're going to buy up now and they're going to run a set piece onto the A bomb site. That is surely what they're going to do. There is always options to go for B, but I think who doesn't love a bit of chaos on the A bomb site in a round like this? They could always run a fake as well. That's also a possibility. But I feel like I feel it's unlikely they'll go for a fake in this situation. I think they want to try to get as many kills as possible, and that means that you need to get in quickly. And the fake could get you. Sometimes the fake is not going to get you into the best positioning, and they need to get close positioning to get those frags. Here they go onto the A bomb site now. Oh, it is the fake, James.
It's a lie, it's a trap. They're splitting the site. Don't see this every day. Are they committing all the way through? Oh, the two-man spray down from FNX. Lovely stuff. Zeus is in B, making his way over there. Lucas still stuck in A. FNX will go down, but there are 2 more players. The planter will be in a 1 versus 1 on the B bomb site. Fur, can he get there fast enough to help his teammate? Zeus gets a spray down. And indeed, Fur is behind him. Zeus doesn't have a kit. Can't get around the corner fast enough.
That's a cool round. I think we saw that from them yesterday, actually. But that's really cool as a second round strategy. I feel like that's a round we might see a lot of teams copying, because it's one of those rounds where it's you're the T side. You can buy all those guns, and it's very hard for the CTs to stop you from doing what you want to do initially, at least. So yeah, that's a really cool round.
That was gangster.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down.
Well, it's going to be a force buy back, as expected. If you lose to a force buy early on like this, it's generally the battle of the force buys, and the first team to concede more than 1 round in a row will be the team that eventually gives it up and says, all right, you've won the battle of the force buys, and now I will save, and you can take this one. Immortals have the scout on Henny, so it could be quite dangerous. We shall see how it all pans out. That is painful.
Yeah, it's a nice shot there by Henny. Wondering if he's going to rise to the level of his opponents on on this series of matches. Taco and coldzera around the pop, and zews, he loves to push B. Doesn't matter what the map is. zews is all about the B push. It's 5-7 covered in SK stickers, quite nice to see. It's a family match. Fallen pushes with the bomb, and Immortals may be taking a round straight back. Only a player has fallen for SK, for Immortals, sorry. Too many types of fallen to use now. 17 seconds for coldzera to die. And die he will.
SK will likely force by now as well. Or will they not? Will they not partake in the battle of the force buys, James?
Love me some force buys. They're doing it. Yes!
They partake.
Let's go.
They partake. They are willing competitors, combatants. Who will fall first? All the Immortals have to do is hold this round.
Gladiators.
And they will win the battle of the force buys. I'll repeat that as much as as possible.
I still remember Liquid started things off, for me at least, in terms of the timing, high explosive grenades up the ramp to blow up advancing players. Sometimes there were 2 grenades. Damage would be done. SK gone for the force. 3 Tech 9s, Deagle, AK. The AK's on Fur. He's the action man for the SK team. Moving away from B, moving towards A main. They have 2 smokes, do the SK team. They can put them between the trains, try to limit the places they can be seen from, but not shot from. Moving into the site now, closing the distance with these smokes. Spotting a CT on the high ground. Fur looking for him. Got to be careful though, because there are CTs in connector as well. He will deliver. So will Taco. 5 versus 3. 2 players in connector for the CT side.
Yeah, this is working out really well so far for SK. Finally a kill traded back here from Immortals, but the positioning from the T's all over the place and making life quite difficult. boltz, he's been so good for the multi-kills all alone in the previous matches we've seen on the last few days, but this is a tall order. The bomb is planted in a very precarious position and he gets tagged. He's going to have to save, and the force buys will continue. And one thing that I have to mention about this round as well is that the way that SK set it up, if you have this issue, or if you have this situation where you've got one of your players on an AK, you want to put him in spots where he can obviously make the most use of that, where he can actually get those kills for you early into the round, where it's impactful, where it can kind of become an exponential advantage as it would be, because if you get those kills early on, that means your teammates can take positioning much quicker further on, and that denies position from the CTs, and it just rolls. It's kind of like a snowball into an avalanche type situation. So the way that you want to use the smokes means that Fur will be looking for specific positions with the AK. He's not just going to be looking at random spots. He'll be looking at specific positions, and he is able to catch the player up high, which gives a lot of positioning for his teammates with the Tech 9s to push on forwards and then wrap the CTs. So there's more than meets the eye to these plays. And I mean, again, just watch any Games Academy video, you'll see how much thought goes into Fallen's game. But now it's time for Immortals force buy attempts.
Force buy number 3. 4 even. I can count. Eventually. Smokes coming into the site, but will Immortals push past the smokes? Lucas on his own by E-Box. He's been isolated. He's got a deagle, and he's got a kill onto Fur. Can he get out of there, though? They're lining up towards main. They're in the choke point, but the reload is too long, and that's the only kill he's going to get. zews with the high flash. Going to flash felps as well. He's got the M4. Doesn't want him to be blind. Down goes the bomb for Fallen. We may see another force buy 1. I kind of hope we do, because I want to see the force buys go backwards and forwards forever. Cold and FNX waiting for openings. They'll both find one. Still in a 2 versus 2. zews with all the damage he's done. Hasn't picked up a rifle just yet. Henny charging in, trying to do what he can, trying to take hold by surprise, but he can't. zews position known and now unknown. Spots FNX, but he can't find the face. And perhaps the battle has finally been won, Dan. The battle's been raging on for 5 rounds.
I told you, I asked you, were you ready for the craziness of the Brazilian Counter-Strike? Don't know if you, how you were feeling, buds.
They're having a lot of fun. They're chatting to each other in the chat, which you can't see on your machine, on your screen. That's very green. Fast play from SK. Are they going to commit? Yes, they are. Lots of jumping going on. Nobody wants to get hit in the head by a pistol. Felps on the flank. FNX. Oh, he's got a grenade in his hand now. He's dead. UMP as well. If he followed through, he maybe could have found Taco planting the bomb. Taco had to cancel. Bomb not down just yet. The pre-fire is absurd. Down goes Fallen.
Yeah, that's insanely fast. That's unreal, isn't it? That's so incredibly fast.
That's domestic Counter-Strike.
My goodness gracious me. Well, Felps, he's going to save an AK then. And Henny might be able to grab the UMP, actually. I don't know where it was disposed of, but he's just sending his teammate. Yeah, the UMP's up there. You can go grab that. I'll be over here. And that is a really big win because I think they need a... Yeah, they would need another eco. I think they will be ecoing next round anyway because we can check the money right now and have a look. So yeah, you can see that their money is actually going to be in a spot where they can buy. So the extra gun makes all the difference, as boltz especially is on 4K. So this will help them have the sufficient amount of grenades to post a real defense in round number 7. I did like SK's round there. The fast B rush is a very nice and very strong anti-eco strategy.
4 players in the B-A bomb site for the CT side. Again, it's a relatively standard approach in that regard. FNX on his lonesome towards Ivy. Rest of the team around Pop for the T side. Henny and Lucas very close to main. We've got Pop Dog smoked off as well. There was some action behind the smoke from the T side. Speaking of action, FNX taken down towards Ivy. Lucas moving back now towards bomb site, as is Henny. Zews still alone in the B bomb site. Fairly confident that nothing untoward is happening. Only Zeus and boltz with grenades for the most part here on Immortals. Currently enjoying a man advantage, but perhaps not enjoying the lack of knowledge as to what SK have intended for them, have planned for them.
I love that sound, by the way. Is it like a Geiger counter? Is
yes.
That, yeah, so I love that sound. It's very Half-Life, very, very Half-Life, in more ways than one, of course. So we'll see whether or not this push will go well for SK. They've gotten to the point where they realize they just have to go. Not much time left. They lost players. Another player to go down, but it is not in the favor of SK. They are 2 against 4. Not good odds. Cold is trying to do what he can to shift things in the favor of SK, but it's going to be tough. Spotted as well, and the continuation spray there from Felps will be enough. Fallen has to have a godlike series of engagements here to make this one work because he's got 12 seconds. Does he even commit to this? He's going to go for the plant here, faking it out. Can he find a quick player? He has to get one on the site. He will. There's still time to plant. He will have a 1.5 seconds to spare. Boom, there it is. One more player to find. Zeus creeping around the site. Oh, Fallen, he pulled his crosshair up.
How did he even get into that situation? That's crazy.
That is really big as well because 4 players dead, the bomb down. SK might actually force buy. Oh, they don't even need to force buy. They have plenty of cash. Well, they will absolutely buy. They will be absolutely buying in this round. Of course, they won a couple rounds in a row. I am a silly banana. So let's see whether or not SK have the right round for Immortals here. Immortals have been holding outside pretty well, to be honest, in a lot of these spots. I wonder if we'll see more pressure towards Ali to try to get some edges, or whether they will do similarly towards the secret area. Those are obviously the 2 extensions of the map away from T main and Pop Dog. This is you talk about this a lot. Zeus and his Mag 7.
He loves it. He loves W on the B bomb site.
Could write a novel about Zeus and the Mag 7.
Every day, we always see him at some point with the Mag 7. It's guaranteed at this point. He is maybe oh, how many? Could be one more. It's gonna be one more. 3. Thank you.
That's that. Okay, again, domestic matchup. There you go. The crazy push from the flank that no one expects. That's got domestic matchup written all over it.
I don't think he even knew anything about that kill. But that's all she wrote. boltz 1 HP, Zeus with 12, but they'll take that. 1, 2, 3 bags full. SK down to 2K. SK could almost be translated into 5K. But it's 2K. And you have no idea what I'm talking about, which is perfectly fine and expected, just to some degree. Oh, Zeus has messed up his flashbang Molotov. Hello. Somewhat. Players moving in for a plant. The gauntlet run, but the bomb is exposed. Zeus moving forward, even with the AWP. Trades coming in, nades flying in. All kinds of action. This is violent. This is a violent game, Dan.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, still that push in the back from Phelps is just insane.
In the back.
You almost never see that. I don't know the last time I saw that push. That's kind of crazy, and it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of edges that Immortals will find over SK that other teams won't, just because of this specific knowledge. In their heads, they will be compelled, because these people play so many hundreds and thousands of hours with them against each other, and that's gonna give them the heuristics to understand exactly the kind of patterns that their opponents will be likely to make, and it will allow them to think I think this is a good idea right now. I don't know why, but there's hundreds of hours are kicking in the back of their brain, and compelling them to push James in these odd spots.
FNX causing some distraction towards the IV position. Meanwhile, Burst running shenanigans around E-Box, but it's not working out for him. SK, they're running out of personnel. Are they running out of ideas? Smokes confusion on the A bomb site. Seems that smoke on Ivy is still distracting the CTs. Do they realize nobody's there? Down goes FNX. That might be the answer. 4 versus 2 now. Still time on the clock for SK. boltz is heavily tagged, so is Lucas. This could spin back in their favor pretty quickly. But again comes the variance of Train, finding the players the right spot at the right time. Henny with a very unlikely kill there. Taco last man standing, 34 seconds. Trying to bait out some players, and he will, but from behind.
Yeah, and you can see Immortals are really stepping up against SK, a team that they obviously absolutely respect and desperately want to defeat, just more than just because of the points in the league. There is Brazilian pride on the line. There's a lot of pride on the line, I think, especially if you imagine that a lot of these players on the Immortals side, maybe one day they could have been in SK, but they didn't get selected, or maybe you were in a situation whereby you were never considered for that lineup at all, and this is another chance to exert yourself as the potentially more dominant Brazilian team. There's a lot on the line in a matchup like this, and you can see already Immortals are much more geared up than in the previous matches we've seen of them in the league so far. Much more tension in this one. And still work to be done. Cold on and off.
Hello.
That is nice. Very nice. And this is what you're talking about, these positions on Train.
Oh, Colt's going to get a flank.
Just all over the place, these players. What can you do?
Variance, Dan. Variance. Fallen and never mind. FNX is the last man standing now. Running down the map, but which way will he go? The ladder used to be louder than the running steps, obviously, but it's changed. I presume it probably still travels further than general running. Immortals grouping up in CT spawn. Moving towards B now. Can they hit the beeps from there? I don't know. But now they have the information they need. FNX has no idea where they may come from. Where will he choose to defend? I like the plant. It's very exposed and raises questions as to where he might be. Takes Henny by surprise, and now it's FNX versus Lucas. Lucas has the sound, and he has the kill. Round number 7 for Immortals.
It's very unlikely for SK to get so far as they did just then. So, that's pretty impressive in of itself. But there's still a long way to go. And Immortals are starting to take quite some liberties, starting to get quite far with this one. 7-4 now. Mag 7 on Zeus, of course, why not? He could have gotten something better, but no. Gonna take the Mag 7.
Fallen coldzera on the big green guns. Off to a good start. Henny taken down. Felps on the AWP over towards IV, and he will answer straight back. But Zeus has gone down. Again, the fast frags coming in. We've seen so many slow rounds from Immortals, but against their national rivals, against their brothers. Fast round from both sides. But it all slows down all of a sudden. SK preying on their one-man lead. A minute 15, maybe expecting some aggression, and often we've seen some aggression, namely from Zeus, but Zeus is already gone. boltz, though, is looking for information towards B. 2 of the 3 players from Immortals already over towards A, and they may start to focus a bit more on the A site. SK may be waiting for Immortals to make a mistake to push in the wrong direction. How far will boltz go in this position?
Well, one thing is that they also understand SK that Immortals, they kind of understand their push timings and so on. I think, or at least I think they have a good idea. Like Immortals know that SK are holding their pace to bait out a push. It's something that SK do quite a lot of. So it's unsurprising that we're at a standstill right now. SK finally forced to go in though with 30 seconds left, and Lucas has a really good position here over the top of the train. And oh, this is just a disaster here for SK. There's 2 players left. Taco, can he be the man to save things? He's got himself 1 kill. Fer manages to get the other one, but he's down now, and that's the bomb as well on the floor. 10 seconds to plant the bomb. I don't know if there's even time to do this for Taco. boltz might just let it happen though. Oh, he's got it. He's got it. He's actually just barely got it with half a second left. So this is actually favorable for Taco now. I think boltz felt like he had it.
Taco smoked the bomb. Maybe he's oh well, who knows what the purpose is. Either way, high ground, and boltz will go down. Really tight round between these 2 sides. SK on the back foot, but playing the catch-up game. They've put Immortals' economy in the bin, in the trash can, in the rubbish, in the junk.
Impressive stuff there. And that's going to mean that SK are back in this one. And they're 1 round away, I think, from just crushing Immortals' ability to buy at all. Although that said, we are very close to closing out the half in its entirety. And when I saw that player, just like the first frame of Taco in the air there, I just knew he was going to die. I just knew Henny's making that flick shot. He does that just all day.
Fallen's lucky to get away with that one.
Yeah, well, yeah, he got hit.
Elbows.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he can still escape. He nibbled by the shark, that is Henny. Trades over towards Ivy. AWP collected, as you can see. Immortals, though, going for yet more aggression. Maybe boltz is looking to pick up this weapon, assuming FNX will make his exit. Perfect timing with the flashbang. Goes past the angle, goes for the wide peak, and indeed, the weapon will be his if he wants it. M4 for now, though. 2-man advantage over SK. coldzera and Fer. Fallen's dead, but he can move his pawns around.
And I have to say, I really love the way that Fallen gets tagged, and they may or may not realize that. But what they wanted to do was make, when I say they, Immortals, what they wanted to do actually at that point in the round when they'd already gotten the pick earlier on one guy in Ali, is to actually see, has Ali been abandoned at this point? Because the last thing that they saw was Fallen's a pick attempt from Team Main, which had failed. So whether Fallen goes to Ali or to Secret tells them everything about the round. So so long as they pop flash in there, they get the information, that tells them then what SK have to do.
Fast play from SK into the A site, but the range is superior, far superior for Immortals. Gap in that smoke as well. This does not bode well for FNX. The HE comes in, manages to avoid the first shot and the second one. Can he take the gun away though? boltz is somehow the last man standing while all this action's over towards Ivy. Everyone's died. Bomb moving towards the B side. Or is it Pop Dog? It is indeed the Pop. FNX on the other side of the site. SK should be good to plant the bomb on the north side of the bomb site, unless there's a gap in the smoke, and boltz is going to come in looking for Fallen as well, and Fallen has no fear. He is hunting for that kill with the M4. Face spotted, but Fallen is ready for it. No nerves on the leader of SK. Lovely stuff. 1 round remains, and the money is wrecked for Immortals.
Yeah, I actually think that boltz is the scariest player on Immortals in the clutch situations, at least from the last week of action we've seen. He's been so consistent at just making these multi-kills just out of nowhere by completely by himself. Very good stuff from him in the entirety of everything that we've seen, but Immortals actually slipping away, or rather allowing a couple rounds to slip away here. SK with those fast Tech 9 pushes, just doing the damage. Sometimes it's just the Tech 9s that there are enough. And quick entry now into the B bomb site. And the beautiful thing as well is how the pace from SK in the last 2 rounds is completely shifted from one polar opposite to the other. Or one pole to the other, I suppose. It's polar opposite to what we saw a few rounds ago of very, very slow rounds, and now very fast rounds. And the SK are very adept at mixing up pace to catch players off guard, to condition them to one timing, and in fact, it's going to be another one.
Taco just burning the clock down. So many advantages for SK in that previous round, so look at that war of attrition early on. 4 spy, 4 spy, 4 spies. SK will have a 1-round deficit. Immortals off to a good start, had a nice chain of rounds in the middle there. Is it enough, though, to take it over the line? Again, they are the underdog versus their national leaders.
It's a really hard matchup to call. And again, like any domestic matchup, it is difficult to call, but specifically this one with these two teams, there is so much skill on both sides, and anything that you expect strategically is a little bit up for question, just due to the fact that they know each other so well. And will Immortals expect the boost? I love this boost so much. It's such a good boost. And Taco can just peek and draw some information. Gets the one shot though. That works as well. And the funny thing is that it kind of compromises coldzera's position to push, because now they are actually looking at this flank.
I love this match right now. It's the pistol round. How is coldzera in this position? Maybe he really wants to listen to the radio. Well, the tunes are playing, and the bomb is dropping. Immortals, the last 2 players, are in Ivy. This is absolute madness. So far, so good. Oh, Fur finally goes down. He was so close and he makes it. There's a minute on the clock here. Immortals can still absolutely win the round. Question is, how do they avoid getting traded when the bomb is in such an awkward position? And he's picked up a USP as well. He's got the range to fight Taco. And now there's a second player, but he's gone down. coldzera eliminated. This is getting super weird, and maybe the most bizarre pistol run I've seen on Train. And I want to see more. Taco needs help from his teammate. Here comes Fallen. How many bullets will the 2 have? They're opting to move away from the bomb, let Immortals pick it up. 20 seconds, and Taco can hear them running. And comes straight out and gets shot in the face. Fallen's in connector already, and it's going to be another gauntlet run. They're going for the low ground. Can he take... If he picks the bomb carrier, then who knows? It's not boltz, though. boltz still holding the line, moving back up again as the bomb gets planted. How have Immortals made it back to this position? Penny's on the site. Fallen knows he has a chance for 1 versus 1. He's got 11 bullets in the magazine. Needs a headshot, can't find it. Somehow, they take the pistol down. How?
That's so funny, that pistol round. So funny. All started with that boost. Yeah, I don't even know. That's just brilliant, isn't it? So many micro situations there. So many small things. But Immortals, they managed to make it happen, and SK, they have 2 mag 7s. They have 2 mag 7s. This is going to be very fun indeed. Will Zeus have a taste of his own medicine? Looks like he won't. Looks like he's just going to kill everyone. Still a mag 7 alive though on Taco's hands, but Taco is far away from that action. He's waiting close. Perhaps they think it's safe. Perhaps there is a false sense of security now for the Immortals players, as they want to now make the push into B perhaps. But equally, they can go 8, and that is what they choose to do. They have more coverage, they have more players. Sounds very smart. And looks like they're going to close down this 4 spy. I don't see it from this point going awry. They will get the bomb down, and that's really where the problem is. Oh! Nope.
Let me just exit this small room. There appears to be violence. No, you are denied. Not a single player lost for Immortals. Looking at the money on the CT side, 2K per person for the most part. Immortals are in good stead for 11 rounds. If they manage to break SK the round after that, then they may be good for the map. Talk is cheap, however, and who knows what can happen between these two sides. Even with limited weaponry, we've seen some possibilities already. Maybe they'll continue. Fallen waiting for his AWP in the next round. Only 6 kills for him so far. Feeling the strains of the Brazilian derby, perhaps. Immortals looking for a fast play towards B, it seems.
Yeah, I really think Immortals have upped their individual level just for SK.
Oh man. Taco has been undetected in the smoke, but he's got a USP. How much can he really expect to get done? Well, so far so good. Bomb's down, but there's more than enough time to plant it. Fallen alone a while away. He may need to get a taxi to make it to the B-bomb site.
Like me to the studio today. Had to take a taxi.
Well, there you go. I took the train down.
Who was here first? It was me by 30 minutes, James.
Oh, really?
Yep. I was here 30 minutes before you.
Yeah, but I'm scared, man. If the traffic's bad, that's GG.
It's a Sunday. It's fine. It's never bad traffic on a Sunday, surely.
Never say
Everyone's
never.
in church, James.
Never say never. Chizurch.
Everyone's in the in the church.
What for Kawanza?
I got woken up by church bells. There's church right outside my house. Anyway, but the fast push coming in from Immortals, and he's found himself behind enemy lines, in between enemy lines, all around enemy lines. Where are the lines?
He's drawing the lines, Dan.
He is drawing the lines.
He's drawing and erasing the lines. He has one of those markers that leaves blue ink, but you can also erase it if you take off the cap on the opposite end, Dan. Lucas now alone versus 4 players. Trying to do what he can. Information plays. 2K for him. MP7 putting in work.
Such a crazy match to follow, I got to say, because it's just the pace of it is just so unexpected, or it's seemingly not without structure, but just not the usual structures that you see in these matchups. And this is going to be a very telling round. Both teams are spending a lot of money. Orbs out. Henny versus Fallen. Fallen considered by many to be the best AWPer in the world, actually, at the moment. I mean, it's always hard to say, but he's definitely, I would say, top 3 at the very least.
I think it's hard to argue it at the moment.
Even Simple said he thinks, I think he said Simple. I think Simple said Fallen was his favorite AWPer, of what he was the best AWPer. I don't know. Anyway, he's very good with the AWP. That is the point I am trying to make, and that is going to be an edge that SK will have to offer in this round, which they're playing very standard, very passive. Very passive. In fact, they've only got 3 players in A. A lot of teams will have 4 players in A at this point still, but Fallen, he wins the pick battle against Henny, the star AWPer of Immortals, gets himself a second one. I'm glad the build-up that I made was not for nothing, James, because Fallen is delivering so far. And now it's all falling apart for Immortals. They're wondering how to get back into this round. There is no easy answer. You just got to get out there and shoot some faces. You have such a big disadvantage that you need a huge risk to go very well for yourself to remedy the situation. That is the reality. Are you a fan of reality?
Fan of virtual reality. Reality's good as well. I get to shoot guns in reality. That's good. What kind of music is
Yeah, I was trying to work out what music is coming from that room.
I guess it's kind of Russian music, I guess. 4 seconds for Zeus and boltz to survive. Everything has come to a grounding halt. Round 20 is upon us. And the money is here and there for the T side.
That's godlike. Those shots are very hard to hit.
Was he high already? His crosshair on the second shot? Was he expecting the jump?
Yeah, it was already high.
Awesome. The dude just knows. He knows too much, Dan. He knows too much, like your neighbours from time to time. Especially when the walls are thin.
Yeah. My walls are not thin though, so I'm fine.
As are mine. My walls are brick. Which is why my phone doesn't work when I'm at home. 2 rounds between the 2 sides. Felps and Lucas, pistols. SK waiting to see what Immortals have to offer. Fallen's on the AWP. That's not good news for Immortals. Fallen had no Kevlar in the previous round, if I'm not mistaken. But now he does.
You're correct.
Now he does. He's been offered a bonus, and you see the fear there. You can throw some flashes in over the top to push him from the position as well, but either way, it works. FNX on the high ground, looking for the bomb planter, but he needs to secure himself from the people covering him as well. Doing good so far, running out of bullets, so he might be stuck there for a while. Cold over towards Ivy, spots one player, but there's a second one there in boltz. He's going back to the well, and he will drink all the water. 5 versus 1, no kills for Immortals in this round.
And the bomb's quite far ticked at this point. It's quite funny. And there's a kill. They know where he is now. That's definitely worth the trade. There is 0 chance for Henny to win the round. 0%. He will do well to survive.
They're catching up, Dan.
They are indeed. I feel like SK are going to win from this position. I gotta say, you never know. You never want to call it, but it just feels like SK are getting into a bit of a groove now. The other thing that helps is that you can see that they're starting to build some level of economic security, and Immortals are in a position where they might buy a little bit with the AWP of Henny. They're actually no, they can actually fall by here. Yeah, they can fall by here fine. It's just felps who will have no grenades. Henny can drop to Lucas. boltz and zews can fall by pretty much, and Lucas will have a fall by with the drop as well. So they will fall by this round. But so if SK win this round, depending on how many players stay alive, if they're able to get some economic security in the next 2 rounds, and you know, we'll have the 12 to 11 situation. It does feel pretty good for them so far, especially if Fallen continues to connect like that previous round. But are we looking at we're looking at a tactical pause here for Immortals. They realize too that this is a very pivotal moment in the match, and so they are in a state of pondiment.
Is that like condiments?
It's definitely not like a condiment, no. That is something you put on your fries. I don't know if maybe when you're eating fries, you're also in a state of pondiment. You're ponderous.
I don't eat fries anymore.
I actually don't know if pondiment's a word.
I'm pretty sure it's not a word.
Probably not a word. It just came into my brain for some reason. I'm like, I will say this. But I said it with confidence. You were like, you didn't know, did you?
And so I was pretty sure, but rather than challenge you on it, I didn't want to embarrass you, Dan. So I thought I'll just say, is it like condiment? Because it sounds the same. Must be the same.
God damn it! It's not a word. God damn it! I'm sad now. Well, they're in a ponderous state, James. They're contemplative.
Kebobulous?
Kebobulous.
Immortals.
One of these is not a word.
On the buy. Henny has armor, which is more than Fallen could say in the previous rounds. Now, maybe SK have twigged onto something here. How do Immortals get back to winning ways? They won the first 3 rounds. That doesn't mean much at this point because it does include pistol and ecos. So they haven't run any buy versus buy rounds in this half of the 6 rounds that there have been. Here is their next attempt, and Fur is taking the fight to them. He wants to disable them early. He wants to take the legs away. Perhaps he has done that. Immortals still have the control over towards B. And felps are just cheeky. He's just walking in that. He's walking in, but he's dead. 5 versus 3. The plan has not worked out for Immortals, and they're headed towards another eco.
This is the round that SK really badly needs, and it can still be safe for Henny. For Henny, for Immortals. If Henny is able to get himself into position, the problem is that obviously SK are going to be realizing the ways. They're going to think, okay, how can Immortals get back into the round? What is the most likely way for them to get back into the round? And they're going to try to safeguard against that. And so that is going to be interesting from SK's perspective. One thing that they can do is force Immortals out into wide angles. They don't even have to challenge them on choke points, but just at this point obscure their own positions and force deep peaks, committed positions from Immortals, and then reveal their positions when Immortals are already in a spot where they are committed. That's always a nice little play. But SK, they've got a great defense on both sides. They're just going to hold steady, and here comes the push.
I wonder if SK will hear the grenade being primed. They're pretty close. Fur holding an angle on the low ground now. Molotov's coming in, but Fur doesn't win a duel. Taco does, however. And another one. He's done great work. Lucas still needs to cross to the site. Smokes on both sides, and if he gets hit by 1 bullet, he's done so. 8 seconds, not going to try and plant the bomb. Going to try and save the AWP. That's all he can do in the situation. He's being hunted, though. He may have to run further. They're right around the corner, Lucas. Oh, he hits the leg. He wasn't sure where they were coming from.
Did he die after time?
Yeah, he did. I'm pretty sure he did.
Yes, he did. He died after time.
He should have gone. He should have gone to the showers, Dan.
He died just after time.
He should have run to the showers, and maybe he would have been safer there.
It's never safe. It's slippery, very slippery. We've got maybe a slow push coming in from SK actually on the secret position into B. You're looking for those anti-eco kills. Was Fur. He's notorious for anti-eco frags. And now it's just a waiting game for SK. They can't really afford to move with just 4 players. You just have to hold these positions right now. And Taco, in fact, is going to back away a little bit, make it even safer. They have a bit of a rotation here, so they will play retake on B. That was the adjustment for the rotation. Retake on B, Taco holds from connector. They play through from the A-bomb side. Much easier to retake this side, and that's exactly what they're about to do. Look at all the grenades. They have 3 incendiaries, James. There's going to be nowhere for these Ts to stand.
Yeah, but they've got the bomb down with not terrible investment. Headshots almost exclusively.
Headshots.
Headshots indeed.
Look at my headshots.
Regardez.
Look at my headshots.
Mon headshots. 21 kills for FNX. Felps not far behind. But indeed, they're behind in terms of score. Immortals are going to be on the buy once again. Will Felps go for a second up? He's got $6,500. He hasn't bought yet. He's going for the AK. So, 1 up onto both teams. Henny and Fallen. Immortals, can they take this one? Can they put things back in their favor? Again, they had that buy round and that fell apart completely. Henny going for the picks towards main. Going back now. Always got to be careful though when Fallen's around. Often somehow manages to get the upper hand. Bolt holding an angle towards Ivy, and Fallen's doing exactly the same. Immortals spread out from Ivy all the way to B. It's almost like a diagonally the map's being cut in half. FNX moving towards Pop Dog though, will change that. Joining Taco around the B bomb site, smokes it down. They'll just make sure there's no crazy business, no funny business, and monkey business. 3 players almost in a line around the bomb site over towards A. Fallen's patience will pay off.
Yeah, looking really good actually. Felps is going to open things up a little bit, but it's still pretty strong, this defense overall for SK. If you look at Immortals' positioning, honestly, it's just Henny out on a limb here, trying to make something happen. Great flick onto FNX's position, given up. Up the ladder he goes, but back down again as he wants to make sure that he's safe from some of these AWP positions of Fallen. Opening these avenues, and Felps, he opens up the B bomb site, but the bomb's stuck on A. So Fallen's got to watch out now for his back. Felps is quickly approaching, and Henny knows it. Now they can play together. Now things get much better for Immortals. coldzera, very important angle. That is crucial. Almost gets a great shot for the second, but it's falling with the AWP. Saving the day once again.
I had our observer PC between, our second observer PC between Fallen and Henny that entire time. And just the wild stuff they're doing, jumping on and off the ladders, absolutely bananas. But again, it's SK who take it over the line. Immortals back on the buy. 2 rounds though between the 2 sides now. SK getting close to number 16. They're going for an Ivy play. coldzera's getting popped in by Fallen, but that won't result in much. boltz somehow manages to take the kill. No answer from SK.
No answer indeed. They left that one blank. Fur in a very forward position there by himself, more or less. And that's a very scary position because you can be open from both Pot Dog and from T-Main at the same time. Teams typically like to play it with 2 players because of the high risk there on the splits. But Fur will now back away. The smoke is down as well as a refresher. But soon the smokes will go away, and that is when Immortals will decide to strike. SK, can they find an advantage before that happens? Or an equalizing kill? That is a big deal there. And
Dan Fallen's pushing
Ali, yeah.
Fallen's pushing Ali, scoped in, but the players have moved away. But once he goes into the deeper angle and realizes that no one is there. What is the response from his team? Taco is deep towards B on his own. Fallen will tell him that no one's there. Smoke starting to stream into A, but where are the T's? Out goes one. Lucas taken down. So is Fer, but Fallen delivers once again. Players moving into the site now. The bomb's on the floor. 15 seconds. They need to plant. Zeus faster than Fallen on that occasion. Bomb planted. No, not just Henny peeking. Oh my god. FNX goes down, and it will be by elimination. Immortals take it. Man, the mind games are real.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, Fallen's performance there, I felt like he almost could have killed all 5 players. I mean, he's in this spot where he knows exactly what's happening. He knows exactly where every single player is going to appear. It's just a case of him hitting the shots. That is the big deal. And so it's kind of sad almost to see that he did fall to Zeus, because I would have wanted to see how far that could have gone, but only 2 kills for Fallen in the end. But he's back on the off, so good times to still for SK, but got to be careful now because this is the comeback trail for Immortals.
Fallen is hunting, spotted Henny in main. Henny moved to left and Fallen shot him through the wall. Henny's to the right now, but he knows this is an insane duel on train. Henny versus Fallen. Doesn't realize Henny's over to the right now, no longer to the left, waiting for the rotation, but perhaps the information has now been gained. coldzera taking position around Ivy, where there's 1.5 players. Zeus slowly joining, scoped in. Double AWPs are coming out now for Immortals on their T side. But where will it take them?
He's waiting so patiently for the jump, for the cross, for the peek, for the opportunity to get his team ahead in this round. Smoke there towards the bomb train, between connector and the bomb train. Is there a reaction in counter grenades? There is not. No response here, just a peek on alley coming in. It is boltz leading the charge on alley. Fer wins the battle towards B. That might cause a rotation from Taco to help out the A bomb site, because here comes the attack from alley, from T main. Those are the 2 areas that Immortals are trying to launch this play from, but it's not working out very well at all. Zeus, no less, with the AWP, has to come in with the AWP, misses the flick shot, and surely it's over for them in this round. Just Henny left, and he will go down 14-12. NSK getting close now.
It's crazy how much Fallen simply nullified Henny in that position. He just had to wait. Nothing was given to him, and the rest of his team got taken down while Fallen held the angle until the Molotov went down onto Fallen. He had to stand on the ladder. But indeed, the money's been broken for Immortals. This force buy is less than ideal. Maybe we'll see a faster round now. 2 rounds behind and 2 rounds away are SK from taking this one over Immortals. This is the pick of SK. The second match will be on Overpass, the pick of Immortals. They will be the home team again. Just a reminder, the away team vetoes 2 maps and the home team picks from the remaining 5.
And Immortals, they're going to take presence on the secret area now. They have intended to do it with too many players previously, so this does feel somewhat indicative that they're just going to go for it on that B bomb side. And it seems like SK might have the same feeling, because their setup is very much ready for a B attack. It feels like they know exactly what's happening here. With 4 players next to connector for SK, that is kind of nuts. That's very bad at defending A, but if a B push comes, they are ready.
Yeah, well, they have a good read as to the Immortals economy. They have a good read that wherever it's going to be, it will be a gauntlet run to one of these bomb sites. There are smokes to aid the players. Henny's putting in good work, though, but Fallen will quickly finish him off. And that's pulling the CTs away from the B bomb site, but sprayed through the smoke will help. Bomb getting planted, though, on B.
Yeah, really smart play from both teams so far, I have to say, but the advantage on the guns is definitely with SK. Nice flash from boltz. Might get himself a second, just barely unable to do so. Zeus and Lucas ready and waiting to defend this bomb, as it is actually fairly close to detonation now. SK need to get a move on as they start to close the distance there onto Zeus. Zeus gets spotted though by Fallen, as decisive as ever with the AWP. In comes Lucas. Can't get a connection. Defuse will come in, and SK will be on match point.
That is brutal. They came so close to burning enough of the clock to take a very unlikely round, but in the end it's SK continuing with the double ops in this round, and Immortals with a broken economy. Lots of utility, but not rifles, just pistols, Tech 9 and Deagles coming out for the Immortals side. So what is play going to be? Henny and boltz setting up to throw smokes into the A site. Meanwhile, the bomb's moving quickly towards Pop Dog. Could go into A on a split or towards B. Fallen with a hard read on the situation, but they're not going to be. There are 5 smokes in the A site. They're charging through as this FNX flashes all over the place. They're going to go in his favor though. 2-man spray now looking for the third, and there it is. That should be the round shut down, courtesy of FNX.
Yeah, just a formality right at the end there. Fallen with a victory lap, and SK 16-12. That was a game and a half. I felt like we saved the best for last, actually, with these two teams. Pretty impressive stuff from... I mean, we saw Immortals, I think, stepping things up individually and across the board earlier into the matchup, but it felt like they started to lose steam as we got, towards the 20th, 25th round. We started to see SK get more and more edges over and over again.
Yeah, that was quite a meaty match. We'll break it down after this break. We'll see you back here in a few minutes.